Look, let's just cut through the noise immediately. If you came here looking for some polished motivational speech about finding your voice or speaking your truth, you should probably close this tab right now, because the reality of human nature, it's much darker, much colder than what they teach you in school. I'm going to tell you something that hurts, but it's something I had to learn the hard way. Most people you talk to every single day, your friends, your family, your coworkers, they don't actually care about your brilliant ideas. They don't. They are just waiting for you to shut up so they can start talking about themselves. And honestly, if you look closely at your own life right now, you're probably doing the exact same thing. You're bleating words, hoping someone will notice you. We've all experienced that exact, specific moment. You walk into a room. You have this burning desire to prove you're smart, to show you belong. So you talk. You over-explain your plans, you share your vulnerabilities, you tell everyone exactly what you're going to do next. And then, you leave. And that's when it hits you. That cold, sick feeling in your gut. You look back and realize you gave them the exact weapons they need to destroy you. You became predictable. You became cheap. Robert Greene, a man who basically lived in the darkest archives of human history, explicitly lays this out in Law 4 of the 48 Laws of Power. He doesn't just suggest you talk less. He explicitly states that saying less than necessary is a mandatory law of survival. By the time you finish watching this, you aren't just going to learn a neat psychological trick. You are going to feel the terrifying weight of weaponized silence. You're going to understand why the loudest people you know are actually the weakest, most insecure sheep in the herd, and you're going to learn how to make people absolutely desperate for your approval simply by closing your mouth. Let's stop being naive together. Let's look at the people around us. I mean, we all know them. The ones who always have an opinion on politics, on business, on how you should live your life. They post everything on social media. They talk fast, they laugh loud. They think they look like alphas. They think they look powerful. But if you actually read Robert Greene's The Laws of Human Nature, you understand the absolute truth. Humans are deeply, fundamentally insecure creatures. When someone cannot stop talking, it is never a sign of power. Never. It's a desperate, frantic attempt to hide their own flaws. They are terrified that if the room goes quiet, someone will look closely enough to see their mask slipping. They use words as smoke and mirrors. Greene gives us a masterclass on this when he analyzes the legendary Roman general Coriolanus. Now, this guy was a brilliant military hero. He won countless battles for Rome. He was undeniably smart on the battlefield. But he had one fatal flaw. He couldn't control his tongue. When he stood before the common citizens to ask for their votes to become a political leader, he didn't stay quiet. He didn't act with dignity. Instead, he ranted. He boasted about his victories. He insulted the public. He screamed his real opinions at everyone. And do you know what happened? The people didn't see a powerful hero. They saw an arrogant, unstable child who couldn't control his own ego. His words completely broke his aura of greatness. They banned him from Rome, and he ended up dying in exile, ruined by his own speech. Think about that. The moment you open your mouth to brag or over-explain, you are literally shrinking in the eyes of others. You are telling the world, "Please look at me. Please validate me." Robert Greene explicitly warns us, the human tongue is a beast that few can master. It strains constantly to break out of its cage, and if it is not tamed, it will run wild and cause you grief. You know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you? That heat in your chest when someone smiles condescendingly at you in a meeting. Your brain immediately fires up 100 different comeback lines. You want to humiliate them. You want to destroy their argument right there in front of the boss, in front of the team. But let's be honest with ourselves. What actually happens when you win that petty argument? You walk away thinking you're a king. But in reality, you just created a silent, venomous enemy. Michelangelo Buonarroti didn't argue with his patrons. He changed the statue when they weren't looking. Because Greene's Law 9 is absolute. Actions speak louder than any word you will ever bleed. Words are cheap. Anyone can bark, but results? Results are undeniable. When you argue, you are literally begging the other person to understand you. You are putting yourself on their level. Why are you giving them that much power over your emotions? Why are you letting an idiot dictate whether you stay calm or lose your mind? You are playing their game, and the moment you reply, you've already lost. So you think you're different because you have good intentions, right? You think that if you just explain your pure heart and your brilliant ideas to the world, they will reward you. God, that's so naive. Let's look at someone who is arguably the smartest mind of the last 2 centuries, Nikola Tesla. If you read Greene's Mastery and the 48 Laws of Power, Tesla is the ultimate warning sign. The guy was a literal genius. He envisioned the modern world before it even existed. But he had this massive tragic habit. Every time he invented something groundbreaking, what did he do? He ran straight to the press. He talked. He poured his heart out. He told everyone exactly how his wireless energy ideas worked, how his patents could change the globe. He was bleating brilliant words to anyone who would listen. And do you know who was sitting in the corner, staying completely silent, just watching him? Thomas Edison. Edison wasn't the pure poetic genius Tesla was. But Edison understood human nature. He understood Greene's Law 11, learn to keep people dependent on you. While Tesla was talking and over-explaining his visions to rooms full of investors, Edison was quiet. He was listening. He let Tesla do the talking, took the core concepts, hired a massive team, and patented the realities before Tesla could even finish his sentences. Tesla died completely broke, alone in a hotel room, talking to pigeons. Edison died a multimillionaire, a titan of history. Look at how unfair that feels. It makes you angry, doesn't it? It should, because Edison used Tesla's own words as a roadmap to rob him. When you talk too much about your plans, you aren't being transparent, you are just giving away free blueprints to the predators around you. You're inviting people to steal your thunder, or worse, to sabotage your engine before it even starts. Robert Greene explicitly tells us that geniuses fail not because they lack vision, but because they lack the basic brutal discipline to keep their mouths shut. Let's revisit another fundamental truth from Greene's work. Rule 3. Conceal your intentions. Most people think concealing one's intentions means lying. No, lying is complex. Lying requires a good memory, and most people eventually get lost in their own fabrication. True masters don't lie. They simply use silence as a mirror. There's this incredible piece of history Greene shares about a minor king in ancient Ireland. His kingdom was tiny, surrounded by massive bloodthirsty warlords who wanted to crush him. Every single day, these rival kings would send spies and diplomats to his castle. They would ask him direct questions. Are you building an army? Who are you going to ally with? What is your next move? If he lied, they would catch him. If he told the truth, they would destroy him. So what did this guy do? I love this strategy. He would sit on his throne, listen to their aggressive questions, and then he would just smile slightly. He would offer them wine. He would ask about their families. He would say things like, "The weather is beautiful today, isn't it?" It's hilarious when you think about it. The spies went back to their warlords completely sweating. They were panicking. They told their kings, "We don't know what he's planning." He didn't say anything, but he looked so confident, so calm. He must have a massive secret army hidden in the mountains. Because of his silence, the giant warlords became terrified of this tiny kingdom. They never attacked him. He won the entire game of geopolitical survival without ever declaring war. simply by letting their own paranoia do the dirty work. When you refuse to give people information about what you're thinking, you force them into a state of absolute confusion. They can't attack you because they don't know where your boundaries are. You go from a 0, a defenseless target, to a 100, an unreadable, unpredictable force. You become an enigma. And human beings are terrified of what they cannot read. So let's bring this right back to the room you're sitting in right now. Look around you. This isn't just about ancient kings or dead inventors. This is about your survival tomorrow morning. You're going to go to work, or you're going to talk to that one toxic family member or that friend who always subtly tries to put you down. Your instinct, your pathetic, emotional instinct, is going to try to defend itself. You're going to want to say, "Hey, look at what I achieved," or "Stop treating me like that." Don't. Just don't do it. The next time someone tries to provoke you, look them dead in the eyes, count to 3 in your head, and say absolutely nothing. Let the awkwardness grow. Let the room freeze. You will literally feel the air pressure in the room shift. They will start fidgeting. They will start checking their phone. They will start backtracking on their own words. Why? Because your silence is a mirror reflecting their own deepest insecurities back at them. We are building a tribe of silent strategists here. We are done being the loud, predictable clowns who entertain the room for free. From this second on, your words are expensive. If they want to know what's in your mind, they better earn it. Look, if you made it to the 12-minute mark of this deep dive, you are already part of the 1%. You have the attention span that the rest of the world lost years ago. You're ready for the real laws of power. Do yourself a massive favor right now. Smash that subscribe button, turn on the notifications, and don't miss the next deep strategy we decode from Greene's archives. We are moving from weakness to supreme mastery, step by step, and I need you in this room for what's coming next. Thank you for your discipline and for your silence.